Hello, my friends. Happy April Fool's Day. This is 3KO Games, and it is April 1st. So, time to talk about the calendar, about the month of April in Empires and Puzzles land. Let's get into it. Thanks, as always, to Sartanis for providing this awesome graphic. I'll put a link in the description for where you can find this yourself. I use it all the time to remind myself of what's coming up. And we have a lot of great details. We are still in the Tower of Magic here on Monday the 1st. No new heroes there, but if you have epic troop tokens, when I talked about it last time, I kept talking about epic hero tokens, but you know what I mean. Those troop tokens still waiting on them. It's a great time to use them up. Judgment of Dunes opened up today as well with a new costume for Horus. And all those Dunes heroes get extra passives. So definitely worth taking a look at Horus. I did max Horus out on emblems anyway, never limit broke him. But now I'm thinking, gosh, if I were lucky enough to get that costume, he might be just stat-wise and everything relevant again. So and with all those increased passives and everything. But anyway, that's going on for a few days. Apparently there's an Ascension summon, although I did not see that. Maybe that's coming soon. Other heroes there are Costume Anubis and Ma'at. Not new costumes. Good heroes. And then we are going to start War of Three Kingdoms tomorrow. One of my favorite events. With Sha Wu Jing and Shazi Jing. I mean, they are just two of the top, and they take each other out, which is awesome. Sha is so super annoying to face, unless you've got someone like Shazi Jing to resist the dodge and dispel it. And now the new hero is going to be Tang Sang Zhang, which I wrote down somewhere. What the heck does Tang Sang Zhang do? All right, it cleanses, and has that has a heal a little per turn, but it stacks. Kind of a weird mechanic where you're only going to heal like 50 HP a turn, but like you can keep healing and it can keep stacking every time. And if you are smart enough to put that hero with a good synergy, could be really useful. I think if you're patient, it will benefit you. But if you need a quick heal, Tang Sang Zhang is not going to be the guy for you. We finish out the week here Thursday, Friday. We are still in Dunes for a while. And War of Three Kingdoms, we get a pickup summon of Erebus and Kai. Not that interested. And then over the weekend, we get Tavern of Legends back. And one of those things where you get to choose two of the heroes that you want to feature. And then we'll be featuring a brand new hero named Ramona, who is a fast sniper with fiends that steal and then distribute to your that health back to your own team. So that doesn't always happen with fiend heroes, and that's a nice mechanic. Going into the second week of April, we will have Atlantis back again. So those of us still doing tons of farming during Atlantis, get those loot tickets ready. And Costume Chamber opens up at the same time. We'll have Costume Kagan now, Toon Kagan, who will certainly be strong. And then Richard, one of the strongest hitting Toon costumes yet. So it's nice to see him featured again. If you didn't grab him the first time, I had Richard first costume. Then I stripped all the emblems because it just wasn't that important anymore. And now that Toon's out, if I were lucky enough to grab him, definitely would level up. Still working on Toon June. It took so long to get the original, because I never had the original June out. So I've got the original and the Toon costume all done, and now I'm working on the other two costumes. And eventually, I'll be able to actually use them in battle. Clash of Knights will be back at the end of the second week, starting on Wednesday the 10th, and we have two brand new heroes, Cecilia and Armel. Armel is a max health reducer, gives frost damage, and heals, but in a delayed way. There's Armel. And then Cecilia is a damage all and dodge all hero. And then Teddy's an interesting hero too. So to Clash of Knights, some of these new heroes, good ones to pull for. Valhalla forever to end that week. No new costumes. Lady Loki, Heimdall, and Lord Loki costumes. So that's that. We'll get into the third week in April where we have the goblins back again. And we have Dark Feather featured, as well as a brand new goblin, Scroll Beast, who damages all, withers all, and has a counter-attacking Mega Minion. So, really useful hero. Going through the week, we get the Challenge Festival, but there's unfortunately a lot that's TBD this month, so I can't really talk too much in depth about some of these things. Who knows what's going to happen with this Challenge Festival? Hopefully some good heroes, there definitely will be. But that rounds out that week, and then the last week in April, we have a red Mythic Titan. We have yellow contests of elements. I'm excited about yellow. My yellow heroes always could use a boost. Yellow and green always could use a boost. So maybe I'll actually spend a little bit there and see if I can get some yellow heroes worth leveling and worth using. Also Astral Elves, but unfortunately, all of that is TBD. We don't have any information about these. Untold Tales back again, but we're at this point where we are not introducing new heroes anymore. Season's pretty much done. I just finished it. I don't know when the Deadly thing is going to open up, but on hard just finished it and got 0 for all those tokens and all those pulls, but that's okay. Yeah, we'll have Untold Tales and Tremors of the Underwild at the same time. No new heroes there. And then pointing into the last day or two of the month, Springvale finally ends, and we get Dunes back again. That does it for the events. I wish we had a little bit more information about some of these heroes, but we do have a new hero of the month, that is Zarga. So we should probably at least go in and talk about Zarga for a second. Zarga is a fast red rogue whose stats are kind of okay. I mean, 1408 as a hero of the month. That's a big attack stat for a hero of the month, especially with emblems, max emblems, and double limit break. Rogue is nice with that chance to dodge. The passives here regenerates 50 HP each time an enemy receives bleed damage. And then this character receives 8% mana each time the enemy receives bleed damage. So hopefully this special does something about bleed damage, right? And yes, it does. 1,000 cuts at fast speed. It's first going to deal for 35% damage to the target. And then the target has 50% chance to get 1458 bleed damage over 6 turns. The target gets a bleed mark for 6 turns. Whenever a marked target receives bleed damage, they gain a stack max of 10 stacks. Each stack increases all damage the target receives by 5%. And then all fire allies get a 5% chance to dodge for those 6 turns. A 6-turn special at fast speed, I mean, that could be going on the whole match if you get lucky with the tiles. Obviously, if the 50% chance weren't there. If it just was, this happens. This would be a broken hero. That would be, a new Covenant hero or a new Astral Elf. That's what they do, or something like that. One of the really premier top heroes. Because you're going to hit somebody for 435% damage with a 1408, possibly, attack stat. And then you're going to drain 1458 HP from them or more because of this received damage stack. So I don't know how that pans out. Each time they receive bleed damage, because they're receiving bleed damage for 6 turns. Is it just each time the special is activated? I don't think so. It's probably each turn you get plus 5% on top of that. So is it really 1458, or does that elevate from there? Hard to tell. And then because of that 6 turns of bleed damage, as long as you don't get it dispelled or reflected, this character is going to get 50 HP each turn for 6 turns, and 8% each turn for 6 turns. So it's risky to play with a 50% chance hero. But as far as heroes of the month go, Zarga's not a bad one. Like I said, if it didn't have the 50% chance, if it was just a 100% chance to make this happen, this would not be a hero of the month at all. It would be one of those premier heroes. So a step up from some of the heroes that we've seen in the last few months. Pretty exciting. So you have all April to hopefully summon Zarga, much better at least than Anushka. And that does it for me. That does it for the month of April. I hope it is a good one for you. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.